bro.
You know, everybody who's ever crossed when you know how when we came up, you saw whoever on the cover of Out, they were superstars.
Right, that's a fact.
So the fact that we get to do that with them is a big move.
And for you, and we talked about this like in one of our many interviews, but I forget which one specifically, but I remember us talking about, you know, you always reaching back and that always being important to you. And why, just kind of reiterate on why it's important for you to kind of like uplift the community and kind of bring people up.
Man, at this point, I've done everything I could ever imagine in my career. And so to be able to build platforms now where I can help others and give others opportunities, I feel like that's the stage of my life that I'm in. And that's where I'll be able to flourish. So really, it's too much is given, much is required, man. It's like we're blessed so we could be a blessing to others. We gotta keep this thing moving. I mean, we hear that conversation about generational wealth all the time, but it kind of stops, you know, when the mics go off. So it's like I want to make sure everybody knows we really out here, right? We want to not only give the information and the knowledge, but also to step up, you know what I mean? That opportunity to where it's like, all right, well, here's the platform where you can grow, where you can get it off, and let you know that, you know, point out the snakes and keep the grass low.
That part.
Yeah, so we letting you know before, like, that one might not be the best way to go. This might not be, you know. So it's information, it's education, but at the same time it's inspiration.
Facts. And speaking of inspiration and helping people out, I found out also that you had kind of a part in the careers of her and Kehlani.
Yeah. I mean, like
that's like, but that's like something that a lot of us don't know, bro. Like
that's what this is all about. You know what I mean? Because I've been doing it.
That's my whole point. That's my whole point. Like you've been doing it, and it's like you're the kind of person. And I'm gonna say it because like if you say it, it's gonna be like, oh, he's being whatever. But I'm gonna say it for you, like. You know, you're the kind of person that just is always trying to help. Right. Like your heart is like, this makes me feel good. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do whatever I can to help uplift people. And like, I think I gotta commend you on that because I think that's a special kind of thing. Like we don't see that a lot in the industry. What we do see a lot is a lot of the cutthroat, a lot of the snakes in the grass, a lot of the, damn, I thought he was cool. He did that. What a fuck boy. I can't believe he did that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so to just come across that. And I'm in that same space, like in that same thinking. So I just think it's refreshing, bro.
Thank you, man.
You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say thank you from the culture. One time for the next. You know what I'm saying? For always reaching back. You know what I'm saying?
That's gratitude, man. I mean, ultimately, and that's what gratitude and compassion is all about. When not only when someone is doing something, but then when it's recognized, and then because then it becomes a reciprocal process,
But oftentimes we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like oftentimes we just don't. Like we might think it or something like that.
Like I said, we talk a good game. But
then
when you actually put up the efforts, it's a whole nother movement. So I appreciate you for recognizing in the movement that you got going on as well.
Facts. Well, you making my movement a little bigger today, man. Because you know what? Y'all ain't got Nick Cannon over there. Yo, so tell me more about the show. Like I was talking about people that you helped and stuff like that. I was talking to DW Flame yesterday. And he was telling me how the setup is depending on how good you do in the city or not. You get bumped up or bumped down. He told me he got bumped up, so we had a moment. You know what I'm saying? But talk to me about that. So what is that? I thought that was a pretty dope process.
I just want people to appreciate their fans and tell their fans to come out, and then just based off someone who produces the show. Like I'm not gonna put the most popular person at the beginning. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right. I asked the crowd, like, yo, who you here to see? And then based off of that, you can be like, okay, this Flame City, or this Jilly City, or this, you know, Hot Money, like whoever it is. So you kind of adjust it based off of how many people coming to see him, because that's even whatever the big festivals, from the Rolling Louds to the Coachella, the people with their names big at the top, that's who everybody comes to see, and everybody else supporting them.
That's how we sell tickets.
So we making sure it's the same way. It's just like a baby festival vibe. The people with the most people in the crowd get to be the headlines.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, and here's something else that people may not also know is you have a K-pop band.
I wouldn't call it
a band or what
is it? It's, you know what it is?
So what is the correct terminology? You know what I'm saying?
I was inspired by that space. I mean, when you think of what the K-pop,
that's huge, bro.
The K-pop industry in itself. I mean, I actually was producing K-pop shows and stuff for Nickelodeon like a decade ago because I was like, yo, this is a real movement. But obviously, it's like the biggest movement in music. But they got all of that from us with the boy bands, from the NSYNCs and
Right.
Backstreets, and before that, it was the New Editions,
Right.
and you know, so going all the way back to the
Those
Temptations.
are all formulas too,
Yeah.
like down to like the members of the bands, like you know,
Exactly.
the shy guy, the cool guy.
Yeah.
You know
So
what,
what we did, I flipped it all the way over again, and I'm bringing it back here. So I got, you know, a hip hop R&B group called Pop Money that literally is taking the same energy of K-pop but bringing it back home. So they dance, they sing, they rap, they act, and the girls are going crazy for them right now. So
Really?
Pop Money opened up the show every time just to set the tone and the energy, and from there we ignite.
So I got two questions for you then off of that, right? So like, what is your selection process for when you say, look, these are the artists that I'm gonna put on this specific tour?
Yeah, I mean, we got a team. It ain't me by myself, but it's one. I gotta feel like, yo, do they have superstar energy? You know what I mean? Like, do they really have that space of like, you can take it to that next level. You can't be the next New Edition, the next B2K, the next
Right.
NSYNC.
Right.
Like, so in that space, it took us a while. I started that band. I started Pop Money almost like 5 years ago when they were little kids. So now they're teenagers now. So that's a process.
Yeah, they talk like this.
Yeah, that's a process. But and then anybody else is like, really, who's bubbling? Who's on
Right.
the verge? Who am I a fan of that's new
Right.
right now? I'm a huge fan of Simba. You know what I mean?
love
Like,
Simba, bro.
like
Simba
so
is-
I was like, yo, we gotta get Simba on.
When
here.
I found out you had Simba on there, I got excited because you know me and Chuck were talking to this. It's like Simba as an artist is on a come up. Like he is so talented, bro, and a lot of people don't know. A lot of people
Superstar.
he's done it. He is the next future superstar. You heard it?
Yeah.
Shout out to that boy Simba, man, for real.
Yeah, and then even people got like monster records right now, like Big Boss Vet with the Pretty Girl Walking.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I've been listening. I've been messing with Big Boss Vet since she was living in St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Davey D brought her to me. He's like, yo,
it's my
there's
man.
this girl that's gonna call me.
Yeah.
There's this girl. He was like out of St. Louis, bro. He was like, yo, you gotta get her on Ear to the Street. She's like the next big thing. She's coming up. Yo, completely hit it off with her every time. I've done probably like 4 or 5 interviews with her.
That's
already.
what's up.
Jazzy Black did one. She's been through it, so like that's how much love we got for Vet. And then you know with the Pretty Girls Walk, it was just on South Park.
Yeah,
and all that. Like
nah,
she's
it's
she got
monster.
moving, bro. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
about
So
to be over, and that's why I always want to be that person who is a true curator and kind of knows what's next. And like you said, keeping your ear to the streets.
come on, man.
That's all it is.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. And it's
Yeah.
like once you tone out, you get into a lot of these offices, a lot of times people get these positions and they lose that touch with the street, and that's where they lose their power because that's where the strength.
Come on, man.
Is
Come on,
that-
where do I put the offering money?
Right. What else? Judge. Hey, so look, I gotta ask you one thing, right? And this is something that I honestly, I'm gonna be completely transparent. I've been wanting to ask you since the very first day I met you because I want to produce TV shows. I want to produce, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so someone that was in that space, how did they even get into that space, bro? Like, just kind of wanting to do it.
Now it's easier now than it's ever been
Well, because you got
before.
2B and things like that, but more on, I mean, to be able to do it on the level you do it.
But that's the thing. It's all about quality. It's about that superstar energy. If you get an opportunity and your shit is shabby, that's probably gonna be your only
That's gonna be your
opportunity.
only opportunity.
But if you, I mean, even I go into a lot of these HBCUs and like, you know, speak and donate time and money, and I'm saying like, yo, if I'm gonna give you my time and money,
Yeah.
yo, it better be quality because this is your shot.
Yeah.
So it's really like right now the accessibility is there. It's just prepare yourself because once you get that shot, you gotta, you know, you could be the next Cooler, you could be the next Ava DuVernay, you could be the next Spike Lee because they want it for us right now, and every platform is desiring it. But so it's not hard to get into the door. It's like get them to come to your door.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you get them to come to your door?